So today we will try to understand a concept of something called as, okay, a wave management indeed. Okay, so what is the significance of this particular a wave managed warehouse or a wave management ideally works out in the EWM system? Okay, now when we are talking about this significant of this particular wave management one, ideally we knew that how an outbound delivery is being executed, right? Because this outbound delivery with the complex outbound scenarios. Okay, so what happens here, we will have your certain warehouse task followed by your, okay, warehouse order, and then we will start doing your pick plus pack, right, plus stage. This is what we have performed in the systems like OB01, OB02 and OB03. Okay, pick cart funda. Pick cart is a kind of a FOD app. Is that what you're referring to, Balaji? Okay, that's a different concept. Okay, that is something which we don't have it here as of now. If you want, I'll take it at the end. The pick cart functionality is a completely different one. Okay, yeah. Because in the outbound itself, we also still need to discuss on this particular of the loading one ideally. This part we haven't completed it yet because this is a complete outbound scenario, pick, pack, stage and loading. And after that, pick to cart is something where we'll have it in a Fiori screen. Probably I'll try to take that. Okay, Balaji, I hope that's clear. Maybe after completing these two topics of wave management and as well as in transportation management and the ad management, then we can come back to that. Okay, that's only in Fiori application. That's it. Okay, now what is this wave management will help out here? It is basically, it's nothing but we will try to have grouping of your warehouse tasks. Means what kind of a warehouse task that will help you to group it? Means grouping of your warehouse tasks. What it does it? It is mainly used, this wave management, it will be mainly used only in your outbound or maybe some kind of an internal transfers. Okay, or some kind of another, but in inbound we will never use it. Okay, just for your understanding. Okay, so it will try to help you to group of all your warehouse tasks, whether if it is coming from your outbound or whether if you're trying to do your internal transfers or whether you're trying to do any kind of a scenario, doesn't matter. Okay, the transaction to see this one is //SEWM/wave. So as I said, outbound delivery order or an internal stock transfer or a posting changes, any of these things. Okay, so these groupings of a warehouse tasks, okay, of all the warehouse things assigned to a certain wave. Okay, what happens here, for example, we have a warehouse which is working on 24/7, let's assume that, and we need to execute, maybe you have some kind of an outbound deliveries. I'm taking a simple one. Okay, which creates every day, maybe 1,000 of outbound deliveries which gets created for you. Okay, so now out of this 1,000 deliveries, okay, whatever is getting created every time, what you try to do, you perform all these activities, picking, packing, stretching and loading. And in this outbound deliveries, again, you might end up having like 100 line items in each delivery, right? Because it's not a single line item you will not be having in the real-time world. If you're working in an automobile industry, you end up having almost like 1,000 line items also. So out of that 1,000 line items, now let's try to understand that it would be 1,000 products that you need to pick it. Now just answer this question, guys, just for your understanding. Now, how many times a person needs to pick that product? Can someone help me? Anyone?
One time each product, if
Exactly.
they go by.
Yeah, if they go by each time every product, they have to do one by one. So you'll be having 1,000 warehouse orders of different 1,000 products and you have to pick it. Now, the same way, this is a case of your one outbound delivery, guys. The same instance, you end up having like a multiple outbound deliveries in the real time. So what happens then? Every time the same product needs to be picked multiple times with the reference of your outbound deliveries with the multiple times. So then what it is going to happen then? The warehouse picking efficiency is going to be get affected. Am I right, everyone? Does it make sense, guys, everyone? Because the picking of the movement of this picking of the products is being reduced, because the efficient way of picking is to have the grouping of all these warehouse tasks, whether it belongs to a same route, maybe for example, if you're trying to ship it based on your customer, okay, then all the products which is going into that particular route, you can combine it. Or you were trying to pick it based on your materials, or maybe based on your activity areas, or maybe based on any kind of a criteria, doesn't matter. Based on a certain criteria, you're trying to filter it down, or maybe you're trying to narrow it down the search criteria here in such a way that you're trying to improve the efficiency of your picking. So what we are trying to do now, so out of this, like example, as I said, from that time creation, for example, from 8 to 9 a.m. Okay, in this certain time frame, I would be ending up like having 100 deliveries. Okay, in my system, in the EWM system. Now, within this 100 EWM deliveries, maybe I end up having 100 line items for each delivery. Then you assume that you almost have 1,000 for that. So what are we going to do here? We are doing to group a certain warehouse tasks, okay, of what it could be of a same delivery, or maybe it could be of a multiple deliveries also, okay, depending upon the criteria. You can also filter it down based on your route. In most of the shipping businesses, in automobile and other cases, you'll have it based on your customer route and all. If not, you can also filter it down based on your activity areas. You can also drill it down more based on many other criteria, whatever the criteria you have it, okay, based on the customer, okay, or maybe based on your activity areas, what I've said now. So there are many filters that we can see. So now what we are trying to do, we have to certainly group, means then for this particular one, the system will create a wave where it contains all the warehouse tasks of multiple outbound deliveries, because we are referring to only the outbound deliveries here, guys. Getting it clear what I'm trying to say? Any questions?